everybody, and welcome to Movie Couple Live. Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is a show where we talk about the latest in movie news, pop culture, and all the things we love, sometimes including weird food to talk about. And on today's show, we are talking about the John Wick spin-off prequel series, The Continental, to be produced by Starz.
We're also going to be talking about our first look at the live-action series Wheel of Time.
Yay! And Marvel has a pretty, I don't want to call it significant, but they are pushing back some of their films for the 2022, maybe some of the 2023 releases as well. And a quick review on the film Ron's Gone Ron, very cute cartoon, coming soon, or should I say coming up on all today's show. You guys, welcome. I don't know what's just happened with my mouse. I feel like it just
died on you.
I just charged it too.
It's like it was working so well, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, sorry, bye-bye.
Yeah, I think it's because oh well. In any case, I'll just, you know what, I'm gonna put this somewhere else so I don't feel that I want to grab for it, and I will just use this one. But everybody, welcome. I feel like we haven't seen everybody.
I know it's been a while. It's actually kind of weird because on Saturday we had DC Fandom, but I was out,
right.
But you did a whole bunch of coverage, but then we came back. So we didn't have our typical kind of live stream for Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of a week since we've been able to sit down and just chat with you guys.
I mean, it wasn't even a live stream because I didn't do that. I just filmed reactions. And then you filmed your reaction, which I put them up much later, which turns out the algorithm doesn't like them because those videos are kind of below what I expected for views, way below. So yeah. But if you want to check out Dustin's review, they're up on the channel. Also coming soon to the channel, we did film a vlog because on Monday we did get to go to the premiere for Eternals, and it was a fun time. Disney Marvel always puts on a really fantastic event. So
and we'd love to talk about it, but we're still under embargo.
Yeah, we're under embargo until Sunday, sometime on Sunday.
Off?
So the sound is off.
Oh, did we just drop sound?
Did we lose the sound?
No, I can hear it. I can still hear us.
Okay. Navi isn't here. She's getting her she's getting a makeover. So
she's gonna look so cute and pretty and
fluffy.
She's gonna look
very cute. Yeah. So you guys let us know if we do sound a little weird. Do we sound okay? Blade says sounds good. Debbie says you are fine. Manja, kind of describe what you think you might be hearing. I don't know if I might be your speakers on your end, or possibly could be something on our end. Marvin Martin flying in with a super chat. Marvin, thank you so much.
And I love the new picture. It looks like a Marvin Martian that has been carved into a pumpkin.
It's so appropriate for Halloween.
Yep, very seasonal.
Well done,
I love it.
Sir. So Marvin writes, for Halloween, performers, Strauss Serpent, Steve Starr, Alex Magala, are those the Halloween performers that I feel like I don't know.
Oh, we probably need to check out some of their movies.
I see.
And then, some of the, yeah.
And then for films, Frailty, and Let Me In. I feel like I remember watching or know about Let Me In.
That sounds familiar. And also, that's actually really cool that you put down 4 films. Let Me In, 4 films, and Let Me In 4 books, because I like it when we get a good adaptation of both, and you can really enjoy the book and the movie. And we also have Harbor and Handling the Undead. You know what that I haven't heard of that book, but it kind of sounds like the survival to the zombie apocalypse book that Mel Brooks' son wrote.
Okay.
And it's a little bit of a comedic what is it called? A comedic story. Well, not a story, but a comedic survival book on how to survive a zombie apocalypse. Handling the Undead kind of sounds like that same kind of concept, to where it would be kind of like a survival guide on how to survive the zombie apocalypse.
Nice. Well, as always,
Max Brooks, thank you very much.
Oh, Max Brooks, yes. And as always, we thank Marvin for bringing in all those, I'm losing my words. My brain is not able to think. The recommendations is what I was trying to think. Now, this is not just super chats, the recommendations. I do want to look into some of the performers real quick, just to kind of get a grasp on exactly what they have been involved with. So I'm just going to go look on my phone real quick during the show because, screw it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, and then we can actually look up and be able to recommend some movies that they're actually in.
Or maybe we've not, I don't think we've seen them. Oh, these are just literal like performers. They're not movie stars, they're not actors, or performers for real. So Strauss Strauss Serpent is the world's most flexible man and has been seen on America's Got Talent. So he's a contortionist in a sense. We know a couple of contortionists, but let's go ahead and see.
I'm always amazed on what they're able to do. And especially when they like fit themselves like inside of a very small box. And you're just like, how do they do that?
Like I can fit myself into some sort of boxes because I'm 5'1", not because I'm flexible. I used to be flexible. And then my age caught up with me, and then I am not as flexible as I used to be. Dustin,
I remember the days that I used to be able to do the splits.
Yes.
Not anymore.
Oh, look, he's coming out of the box right now.
Oh.
That's interesting. I wanted to just see what else he does.
It's also one of those things of being able to like dislocate your joints and
or if you're double jointed and you can, is he going to fit himself into a bucket? He's going to, okay, we're going to have to watch this later.
Him being able to fit himself into different size containers. Sorry, I just realized that wearing a beanie and a very heavy coat in front of big lights may not have been the best idea. But Blade, that is very true. Max Brooks is the one who wrote the Survival Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, and he also wrote World War Z.
Great book.
If you guys have watched the movie World War Z, but not read the book, I highly recommend reading the book World War Z, because I love the way that they did that. The way that they wrote the way Max Brooks wrote that novel was more along the lines of the World War Z has already happened. Humanity's starting to come back, and the government has tasked this guy to go out into the world and just collect stories and to collect data and information. And the government just wanted the data, but this guy's like, all of these stories, he's like, you have all the stories, go ahead and tell them, write a book about it. And this is him going to all of these different parts of the world and telling the story. I loved World War Z, the book World War Z. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out.
It's very good. Sorry, I'm right now, I know I look a little distracted. Because the last 2 days have been filled with amazing events that we got to go to, but it also meant it took us out of the house all the hours that we would have had at home. So I am internally and externally, probably, because this may be the most distracted. You guys may have seen me freaking out because I'm thinking of all the things that I didn't get to do and have not done and need to do. And that's all I'm thinking about. But I'm also trying to pull some images up of the upcoming Wheel of Time live series.
Which, by the way, thank you so much for all the people that have put these stories into our Discord.
Yes.
Because the one picture that they have recently posted of the white cloaks is...
I guess we're talking about that right now. Okay, let's
are we?
No, that's fine. Let's jump right into it. It's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
Because one of the things that just drove me insane about the story of the Wheel of Time is the characters of the white cloaks. They really added a good kind of grounded human threat. When you have all of these mystical dangers, you have, the Trollocs, you have the Dark One, you have Murdrol, you have all these monsters that are trying to chase down your heroes, but then you really do forget that normal, everyday, non-magical people can be a huge threat to your hero's survival, especially when they are still trying to run and survive, and they are like running ragged, so to speak. But to be able to see the design of the white cloaks, it's not exactly how I imagined them.
I'm giving you guys a picture right now.
Really cool. I have to admit, they just look intimidating, and they have just this presence to them in this picture that Wendy's about ready to post up. And they are just a constant threat, a constant, pebble, not even a pebble. It is a spur in your heel kind of a thing.
What book do they come into?
Oh, they're in the very first one.
I literally
They are in the very first book.
It's been too long.
I think the first time they show up is with actually they first encounter Perrin. And I don't want to spoil, well, it's in the book. I don't want to spoil too much, but they have a conflict with Perrin because of what's happening to him. And they think, oh, he's a demonic being. He must be one of the Dark Ones. And it just looks so, I mean, I have to admit, I love the way that these guys look. They actually have a very holier than thou. They have this, they're trying to be this angelic kind of being almost. They're like, I mean, just the way that they hold themselves is right on. They nailed it right on the head.
So Dustin is definitely like the go-to person for Wheel of Time because I only read up to what's the book after The Great Hunt?
The Great Hunt is The Dragon Reborn. No, I thought you got to
after. I asked what was the book that came after.
So it goes Hunt. The Eye of the World.
Yeah.
The Great Hunt. The Dragon Reborn. Yes. Shadow Rising. After the fourth one, I think that's Winter. No, Winter's Heart is the sixth.
So I think I only read up to book 4, but I have not finished. And this was years. It's over 10 years ago that I even. So I remember bits and pieces of it, and Dustin actually had like reread the whole thing a while back, more recent than me. So which is why he takes the lead on these topics because I am just like, I don't remember. He'll look to me and I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't remember. I'm very excited for the show. We've been asking just the two of us like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if we could get a Wheel of Time live action? Now we're finally getting it. I think Rosamund Pike is going to crush it as Moraine. And I can't see some of the other characters come to life just because I'm not as familiar with the newer actors that are in they're new to me. They may not be new to you guys. But I am just excited to see the cast, to see the set, to see the costumes, and more we're getting cool photos like these ones. So
can you actually put that one back up? Because on the second horse, someone says that looks like J.K. Simmons. It kind of does.
He kind of looked like J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Because of the white. The bits of white
and the mustache.
I wish I could zoom in.
The mustache. But it also, I'm pretty sure it's not J.K. Simmons because I think we would have heard that J.K. Simmons was a part of this show.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I think he actually probably would have fit very well as the Lord Captain Commander.
Yes,
I think so. I would love to have seen him in it, but if he was in it, we would have heard about it by now.
I really do think so. If it was him, there's no way that we wouldn't have heard about him. But if you guys know otherwise, feel free to post in our Discord and let us know. Which I feel also at the same time somebody would have posted in Discord already because that's kind of big. Socrates says that's definitely not J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, but it really does look kind of like an Omni-Man version of J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
But I love J.K. Simmons' voice.
Mm-hmm.
So as Omni-Man or as J. Jonah Jameson, or I mean, heck, as in anything that he's been in, he's always done a phenomenal job. Yeah, and after The Great Hunt, Shadow Rising is the fourth book. I have to admit, out of all the books, I think my favorite one was Shadow Rising. That was the one where everything really starts getting moving to where the lead character really does start to come into his own, to where things start coming into place and you start seeing this big push towards what is known as the last battle.
Mm-hmm.
So even though they still have 10 books to go after that.
Yeah, they do. And let's see, there was a couple of other things too. Nerdist has this new article that came out, I think, about a day ago, just talking about, the clip that they show, which we're going to do a full reaction to. So we haven't watched them, which is why we're talking just really vaguely on it. But it does show Tom and the White Cloaks on the article. If you guys want to check that out, it's on Nerdist. And then it says the season 1 directors. Okay, sorry. The titles for the first 6 episodes are Leave Taking, Shadows Waiting, A Place of Safety, The Dragon Reborn, Blood Calls Blood, and Flame of Tarvalan. Tarvalan?
I heard, when I listened to the books on Audible, they called it Tarvalan.
Tarvalan. Okay. I have to say it twice because I remember before, this is Wendy adapting to audiobooks. This is also when, obviously we had internet and computer and all that stuff, but it's not as crazy as it is now, where you have all the information at your fingertips and you can be like, how do I pronounce this? So I didn't know how to pronounce Nynaeve.
Yeah. And I heard it as Nynaeve.
Or I don't know how I said it different times. And I remember going to Dragon Con. That was actually my first big convention back in 2007, 2008, something. It was right before Robert Jordan passed away, and they did a huge panel for the Wheel of Time. So it was in this like big room with the stage and everything. And he's kind of got this like stern way of speaking, and somebody, you know, had a fan question for him, and he goes, "It's pronounced this way." We're all like, "Sorry, sir."
And that's the thing. Before you have Audible books and Audible and books on tape, or if you just didn't have access to it, you had to kind of guess exactly how to pronounce it, because certain words can be pronounced so many different ways just by looking at the spelling of it. So it's really cool now to be able to just go on to Audible and be like, okay, how exactly do I say this?
Yeah.
But yeah, Tarvalan, Nynaeve, Egwene, Moraine. Well, of course, Moraine.
Well, Moraine was kind of an easy one.
Yeah.
So, but we're very much looking forward to the series. I am, luckily, because the books are such a vague memory for me, and I didn't finish the series. I'm actually very excited. Kind of the same thing I am doing with Dune, is like not rereading before I go in. I'm just going to watch and see how the show is going to portray the story, and see what changes they make to make it better fit for television, for time. And they might change some things up to expedite the story, but the core concept of the world that Robert Jordan built and the characters that he built is still going to be a part of the show, even though it might not look like what we may have envisioned in our head. But I mean, so far I'm really loving all the visuals. So with that said, make sure you check back to the channel where we are maybe possibly going to do reaction for it. Definitely reviews for it. I'm not sure about reaction because it's Amazon Prime, and sometimes they get a little blocky when it comes to that. But we will see. So stay tuned for that. But speaking of Dune, I got this box. I picked it up this morning. I believe it's from WB, and it might be something for Dune. It doesn't say it here. So I don't know. It could be something else. It could be a whole nother WB title, but I thought it'd be fun to open it up on air with you guys. And if you're curious about my thoughts on Dune, it's a solo review. They were limiting the numbers of how many people they were admitting to the screen just to keep numbers down and everything like that.
I was so bummed, especially after you came home and you started telling me just how beautiful it is and just how it's like the pinnacle of sci-fi movies. And I'm just like,
this is how sci-fi movies should be done. Yeah, so the review is up on the channel if you guys would like to check it out. Because yeah, you mix that with the Hans Zimmer stuff. Forget all the balls in the world.
Blade GTR is asking, hey, did they send you spice?
Oh my god, what if they did?
Get the...
Oh, it is a Dune box.
Oh, well, that's cool looking.
Okay. First, this piece. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's a cardboard.
It's paper from Arrakis. Dried on the sand on the dunes of Arrakis. No, it's just protective. We got a little note that says, "Oh, all right. Warner Brother Pictures and Dune invite you to experience the adventure of a lifetime. Lucky for you, we've already packed your bag." Exclusively in theaters and on HBO Max, October 22nd. And I believe this is, let me know, chat, if you can confirm this for us. But I believe it's actually, they're so, I mean, they should be incredibly proud of Dune. I think it's such a good movie. And I barely have dove into the book. Just barely. I'm like very beginning pages of chapter 1. But I think they're releasing it instead of on the 22nd, which is when it comes out in theaters, even though you can see it on the 21st at like 7 p.m. for like opening night, you know, that kind of a thing. But I think on HBO Max, they're also dropping it on the 21st. I can't wait for Dustin to watch it. I am contemplating, like, do I take him to like an early screening in an IMAX theater? Because, and I know, I don't want to say like you have to go this in theater. Like if you don't feel comfortable going to the theaters, don't do it. It's not worth it when you are later feeling anxious about like, oh my God, or if you don't want to have a mask on for 2.5 hours, don't do it. But I will say this film is absolutely made for those IMAX screens. The sound design from the soundtrack and just like it's everything's just amplified. Like oh my god, on my eyeballs, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, what is that? Was 10 minutes in, I'm like, oh my god.
You know, and that's even something that I noticed from the trailers is not just the music but the sound effects, especially when they start like trying to hop in one of those, I don't know what they're called, but like the
dragonfly,
the aircrafts. I'm like, that looks sounds all the clicking and the dials, and it looks very tangible. It looks so real, whereas you know some sci-fi movies, it doesn't quite look like that would really work. Like it just seems a little far-fetched with some of the tech, but this looks like it is real. Like this is how our technology really could evolve.
It's so cool.
So I'm like, that looks, I mean, just from the trailers, it looks super, super cool.
And you know, I was really nervous going into this. Like people have, even in the comments, like people are a little, some of the comments were a little like, I'm holier than thou because I've read the book and I understand it. Not me. That's how some of the comments like read. Like, you want to try to finish this book before the movie? Good luck. It's dense. I'm like, I understand that it's dense. There's not going to be a test on this. It's still, I know you love the book. Right now I am loving the whole world of Dune, but like, let's slow the horses here and let's not like, I think comments like that can easily deter people away from like, well, maybe I don't want to learn about it then.
Yeah.
If you're going to come in with attitude, like I invite everybody to like enjoy the film. If you haven't, here's what I want to say is I was nervous about going in because I was like, okay, we know it's sci-fi. I've heard that it's dense. I've been warned. What if I don't get it? Like that was one of the main worries. I was like, oh God. So going in, I was, and sometimes they would drop these terms that I'm not familiar with. But if you're experienced in watching sci-fi movies or shows, you know that if you just kind of hang in there for a little bit, everything's going to make sense. And especially with the terms, they say it enough and you see it in context enough to go, I understand.
Yeah.
I get what they're, you know, without having like a dictionary open. So if you haven't read the book, don't let that stop you from seeing this film. You do not need to see this movie, you do not need to read the book prior to seeing the movie, but I think you're going to definitely want to after you see this. And this is just part one. We're not even done with all of the book yet.
Yeah. And that's something that I'm actually a little bummed about is the fact that technically there is no talks about making a second one because, you know, things are still way up in the air. They don't know how much money this is going to get. And I'm a little afraid that since it's being released on HBO and in theaters, it's going to suffer the way that some of the prior movies have done that, you know, when they've come out in theaters and on VOD, the box office has suffered a little bit, whereas movies that just came out in theaters are actually doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid that this movie, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. Everyone's going to love it. It's not going to make as much money as they wanted to. Actually, and then they don't make a second one to finish out the story.
Oh my God. Yeah. We were watching our friend Jeremy John's, his review, and he was like, what if they don't get a second one? Because it's not like technically confirmed. However, I did read that the projection for Dune, I think they're projecting 70 million.
Oh, wow. That's the same amount that
okay, so here's what Deadline is saying. Oh, but this is September 14th. So that's, I want to find one that's been a little bit closer. Projection.
They want like, I think when also the hype around this movie is getting really big.
Yes.
Now, I mean, because there are a lot of streamers out there who have seen the movie and have gone, this is an awesome movie. You need to see it.
Yes.
There is the reviews around this are starting to just do amazing. I think that's what's going to save this movie is the fact that it's awesome. I
just knew that like there's so many fans of the book who have been waiting for this film. That's why we've been talking about it so much on the show. So in an article, according to Deadline or from Deadline, says that Dune, here's the headline, Dune looks to make a difference in theaters and HBO Max with 70 million plus global weekend. That's huge.
I hope so. I really, really hope so.
I need to see part two.
I 100%. Want there to be a part two. And I want this part two to come out soon.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to watch this movie. I'm debating on, after I watch the movie, do I want to read the book? Because then the book is going to ruin or at least spoil what happens at the end of the second movie.
I don't think you're going to want to wait. I think you're going to want to find out because I need to find out. Like I bought the book immediately. So WB was nice enough to send over a little get ready for Dune pack, and they sent over this really sick looking backpack. It's like hardcover. There's little zippies. I don't think there's anything in them, but like this is your stuff is so protected in here, and there's a little zippy down here as well that says Dune, and then there's like even a little. You can adjust it.
I think
for me, I think like in D&D terms, like a bedroll. You can carry a little bedroll, but this is a cute little backpack. It's kind of slim, which I like. And inside, oh my gosh, I've always wanted a bucket hat.
Oh,
I get a nice
and
little
you got a bucket hat that says Dune on it.
That says Dune on it. It's super cute. Hold on a second. I will put it on.
You can have your Dune hat, and I can have my Ron's Gone Wrong.
Oh my gosh, that I got she's cute. This hat's cute.
And
so we got a little bucket hat.
Ooh,
we've got
that is so cool. I like the way that mask looks.
Face masks. How do I open this?
Carefully. Very carefully. And
guys, I haven't worn a bucket hat since like I don't know when they were trending. This feels fantastic. It's a Dune face mask.
Nice.
Let me make sure I have the Oh, it's comfortable.
Oh, isn't that nice? Whoa, when you get like a mask and you're just like, ooh,
on Arrakis, and I'm so it's better.
That looks really cool too. I like it. I've always liked masks that really do a really good job on like covering the whole lower part of your face.
I love that.
And then also inside is a Dune flashlight.
A flashlight? Does it work right now? No, I need batteries.
No, there's no batteries in there.
I need batteries. What, they don't got batteries on Arrakis?
No, they don't need batteries.
Okay. This takes 2 AAAs, I think. Okay, what else?
And then inside,
Dune pack.
There's also a little Dune flask. So either you can...
For water, because there's
no water on Arrakis.
Otherwise, you have to have the suit where it does the thing with your body liquids.
Do they do that?
You have to watch the film on... Oh my god, this is so cute!
That is so cool.
I don't drink alcohol, so I'm going to put other stuff in here.
You can put water
in here. How cute is this?
Whatever you do, though, do not put any kind of juice in there.
Why?
I had a friend. I don't remember. It was either you or me who had a friend that went hiking, and they were like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to get a Camel Bag, and I'm going to fill it up with like orange juice."
Okay.
Completely forgetting that orange juice doesn't last very well in the heat. And he took a sip and was like, and it was just got really gross and disgusting.
Orange
juice.
Gross. Okay. Next.
So that's it. That's
it.
All that is in there. I have to admit, this is a nifty little bag.
I love it. Thank you so much to WB and the folks over at Dune for sending this over. What a cute freaking hat. Oh my gosh.
Of course, it looks really cute on you,
it's really
too,
cute. I always question, does it? I don't know.
I think it looks, everyone chime in. Tell Wendy how cute she looks.
Or don't if I don't look cute. Okay, we're going to put that off to the side with the backpack. And we'll do some cool photo shoots later.
And did we get everything in here? Yes, we did.
Okay.
Put this off to the side. Oh, you're not going to wear your hat?
No, it's going to get hot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Blade says juice tends to stain the inside. And how would you clean? Because you know how some orange juice has like the sugar and the pulp?
Yeah.
Like what brush do you put in that? I think only water is going to go in there.
Or sanitizing alcohol.
Oh, the chat's being so sweet. Vancha says cute AF. And Debbie says that hat looks great on Wendy. Thank you. It looks like makes me look like a Pokemon trainer, says Blade. I want to be.
You gotta catch all the worms.
Oh, no.
That would be
what
funny.
Pokeball do you use for that?
Dune worm, I choose you. Boom.
Just annihilate.
And then everyone just runs away scared.
Oh gosh. Vancha says the Continental. So why don't we go ahead and dive in and talk about the Continental a little bit? I was surprised at this news. I know that I think the show or the prequel essentially was kind of in talks, like there was maybe going to be a movie, there was maybe going to be a show, but now we have confirmation. This is on an article from Variety that not only we have the series confirmed that's going to go to be aired on Starz, we also have Mel Gibson to star in the prequel series. So it says this: the Continental was originally ordered at Starz in 2018 and focuses on the inner workings of the hotel from the John Wick universe, which is kind of like where all the assassins essentially go and stay. And what we liked about it so much is there seems to be this like mysterious lore behind it. Like you don't typically like like all bets are off, as in like you're not allowed to like hunt down other people while you're in the hotel. They have their own code of conduct, if you will, kind of. And you see when you meet the concierge, like they have their own not language, but like the coin, currency. Yeah, and stuff like that, which is really cool. And it says more here in the article. The Continental will explore the origin behind the Hotel for Assassins through the eyes and actions of a young Winston Scott, who was dragged into the hellscape of a 1975 New York City to face a past he thought he left behind. Winston charts a deadly course through the New York's mysterious underworld in a harrowing attempt to seize the iconic hotel, which serves as the meeting point, for the world's most dangerous criminal. So Mel Gibson is going to play not young Winston, but he's going to play a new character named Cormac, Cormac, though no further details are available currently about his character. And it was previously announced that the Continental will be a 3-night event at Starz. No premiere date has currently been set. So that's going to be interesting. Does this mean we have to get Starz for 3 nights?
Just to watch the Continental.
Yeah, because I want to watch it. I definitely want to watch it.
I'm also kind of glad that they're deciding to focus on someone else for this, but they are focusing on a big chunk of the John Wick universe, which is the Continental. Because I've always had kind of a love-hate relationship with prequels, because it's like if you focus on a character that shows up later on in the series or like in the previous movies, then there's really no danger involved for that character. They could go up against the most impossible odds and they're going to survive. So telling it from a different point of view, I think, is going to be really interesting. Yeah. Kind of a thing. And what would also be kind of interesting if you told the story from someone else who experienced and lived through the John Wick massacre, kind of a thing, to where he got his name. And he's one of the people who kind of told, oh my God, this guy, John Wick, came in and just murdered everyone. He killed a guy with a pencil. And just being able to have, this is the guy who kind of maybe told the story, and just have it be kind of in the background of it. It's like, it's just an event that happens. That I would be a little bit more into. Yeah. And I'm also curious on what role Mel Gibson, or how big of a role Mel Gibson is going to have, or is he just going to be kind of like the haunting evil guy?
I mean, he could honestly go either way. I know let's see, I think Bleeding Green says here, no, that's the next one I'm going to go to. Blade says Mel Gibson can play a great good guy or bad guy, and I do agree with that. So we will see. I think he can be totally one of those guys who they can do like the polar opposite, right? So they can start him off as like, make him out to look like the bad guy on the run because he did something bad, and then he end up is actually good, or vice versa. Make us think he's the good guy, and then he like at the end he's like a real jerk or something like that. Who knows? So we're excited for it. I've always wanted to dive into the Continental, but I do focus that they want to keep the focus on Continental and not just this like new character that Mel Gibson's playing, because that takes away from the whole lore of that. We want to see the inner workings of the Continental.
And that is something that hit people. I mean, besides the fact that John Wick was just this incredibly awesome, badass, kill everyone, crazy action scenes. But it was the lore of the Continental that made people go, what is this world? Yeah. This looks so cool, kind of a thing. Like, I want to know more about this. Yeah. Kind of a thing. So being able to create a series that really does focus more on that, I think it's really fun and a really good idea to be able to tell a story about the world of John Wick without having John Wick in it. Yes. Because there's got to be tons of very interesting characters, other assassins, other people that work at the Continental, other just this world that they've created, to where all these people are soon going to die because John Wick will come and just kill them all.
If John Wick is looking for you, there's no running from John Wick. Going to Bleeding Green's super chat. Thank you so much, John, for your super chat, who writes, what are the chances we can get Wendy and Dustin to dress up and see Rocky Horror live? Are they even playing that in LA?
Oh,
there's always
there's always somewhere during Halloween a production of Rocky Horror that you can go to. And I love the ones to where they actually give you a printed out sheet of all of the callbacks, and they will also give you the spoons to throw.
And then like newspapers or something. What are some of the other props that they give you?
I know the spoon.
The spoon for sure. I remember that too from when I went to one back like in Florida.
It's been a while. It's been at least a good 10 years since I've actually gone to a production of Rocky Horror. I think I've gone to a total of like 3.
We actually just went and saw a live production, a college production of Cyrano, the one that Dustin did the fight choreography for. And it was so good, but it was very cold because it was an outside amphitheater, which is why we went, because we're like, oh, it's outside. It'll be a fun night. We invited one of our friends to go with us. And I felt like the only places that were warm was where I wore long sleeves and my face, because I ended up putting my mask on because it was so cold. I was like, I need like 4. Because everything here that was bare was freezing, but it was a good show, and it made me like excited.
They did an amazing job. Yeah, I'm so proud. I'm such a proud proud daddy of all the job that all of these kids did at Azusa Pacific University for Cyrano. You guys did an amazing job. I'm so happy. And I was watching the Forrest, the guy who did Cyrano. Holy cow, that guy did an awesome job.
Yeah, Cyrano is a wordy role, and you will see it if you don't know it. There is a movie musical that is coming out with Haley Bennett and Peter Dinklage and Calvin Harris, or is it Harrison Jr.? So it's a musical, but you will see then how wordy that role is for Cyrano. Bleeding Green says, I haven't been to a live Rocky Horror in a few years. Yeah, same. It's been a long time. And we're going to dive into, in just a second, I want to talk a little bit about the schedule shift for all the upcoming Marvel films. But this next question from Noah actually leads us into talking about this. So I will go ahead and read it out now. Noah says, hey, the movie couple, I have a question for Dustin to read. Where did you get that hat that says Ron's Gone Wrong? Because I want to get it too from online, as long as it's not a limited item. Okay, so unfortunately, we're not sure where you can get it. We actually were invited to the premiere last night to see the film. And as we checked in to get our credentials, they handed these to us. So I don't know as of yet if they're going to sell them. But if they do, I imagine that they would. Yeah. The movie's very cute. We already saw somebody on the press line. They already had like, and I don't know if it's a plushie or if it's like a hard toy, like a not plastic, but like resin or something like that of the Beebot.
It was a plushie.
It was a plushie. It looks super cute. So I am going to, not confirmed, but I'm gonna assume with Halloween coming out and this movie, the embargo has lifted and everything, that they would put out merchandise for this film. So I hope you find it. I'm sorry that we can't answer your question because we don't know. It was a nice little gift.
Something they gave us when we checked in.
Well, everybody got one.
But I thought it was really cute,
and it's really warm.
It is. It's pretty thick.
Yeah, I'm definitely you're gonna see me rock it in the in the summertime. What are you doing?
Just being a dork. There we go. Okay, hold on a sec. There we go. We got Ron. Oh, turn it that
Ron's
way.
Gone Ron. So the film is an animated feature-length film. It is by 20th Century Fox, and it follows a kid named Barney, where in his world, which is kind of like present world, everybody, essentially all the kids, have this thing called the bubble bot,
or that they've called the Beebot.
Beebot for short. And they are essentially basically think like your phone, but customized to you, voice activated, and can move with you. It's like the ultimate smart device, and I don't know how adults wouldn't want one.
It's kind of like if you had if you took BB-8, shrunk them down to a little droid size thing, and then turn them into and then take the iPhone and shove it in, and shove the iPhone in there. Kind of a thing. I thought the design of the Beebots, or in this case Ron, was really cute. Yes. I actually think that that kind of took a little bit of like BB-8 / R2D2 Big Hero 6.
Oh, Baymax.
Baymax. Thank you. I was like, my brain just was
That's like me today.
So it does have a lot of that cute droid vibes going.
Yes.
And they pulled it off very well. And Ron is just this huge, dorky kind of robot, kind of a thing. Just doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know how to do his programming.
Yeah. So without giving too much away, Ron, the Beebot that Barney got, is not like the rest of the Beebots. His codes are a little bit different, to put it lightly. So I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. So essentially, the Beebot, their slogan is "Best friend out of the box." It will learn everything about you via connecting your Beebot to the Bubble network. So Bubble in the film, I feel like it's kind of a little nod, like a little it's parallel to another corporate giant, tech corporate giant of a similar sounding name, Apple, Apple Bubble. And it's interesting because one of the characters in the film very much embraces the aesthetic of Steve Jobs.
Yeah, very much. As soon as you see him, you're like, oh, that's who they're talking about. I see what they're doing here.
But, it has a lot of heart. It's very cute because Ron, there's a lot for Ron to learn, being that his code is a little bit different, so he doesn't perform like the rest of the Beebots. And also Barney has to learn how to, I guess, live his everyday life with his new Beebot, because it is also different. And of course, there's, obviously some accidents, if you will, that happen because Ron doesn't behave accordingly like the rest of the Beebots. But it's a very sweet movie. We have Jack Dylan Grazer as Barney, Zach Galifianakis as Andrew, and I don't remember the rest of the cast currently, but they did such a good job. There was a lot of laughs. Like, I remember watching the film, and I sometimes when I know I'm going into like an animated film specifically for kids, not like a Pixar movie.
This is very much for kids.
Yeah, I kind of go in with like how would the kids like this sort of a mentality, and I kind of watch it just with that thought in mind. And I find it very cute. I know a lot of the kids were making noises in the theater because they were excited about it, and I was like, you know what? I think this is going to be a fun one for the parents, like when it arrives in theater and on VOD. For the parents to be like, yes, purchase it because it's cute. And then, of course, all the kids might want a Beebot for Christmas, like the real Beebot, which does not exist.
Yeah.
The tech inside that Beebot is so advanced. Like, there is currently, I don't think, any device on the market that could match what they try to,
Well, even like so much to where like the wheels are like, the wheels weren't actually attached. They were like magnetically hovering and still was able to move, and so much so that they could actually carry a child.
That's
kind of
crazy.
A thing. And I'm kind of like, that is nuts.
Yeah. And a little fun fact from Steve. Thank you so much for putting this in the chat. Ron's Gone Wrong is the first movie from Locksmith Animation, a new studio from the UK. I think they did a really, really good job.
I think a lot of them too were at the premiere because there were a lot of people that were just cheering and hooting and hollering. Like certain names that popped up, and when Locksmith Animation popped up, the whole theater just erupted, going, "Woo, yeah!" So it shows that they were proud, that they were just excited to see this big movie of theirs being able to be up on the big screen, especially at the El Capitan.
Yeah, I think like especially if you've got little ones in your family, this is like for per movie couple rating, this is definitely a check it out. Because I think the kiddos are going to really love it. It moves. There's a lot of bright images, and there's definitely some of the jokes that are catered to the kids. That's like, okay, they're going to love this. So 100% very kid friendly. And for anybody who is looking for like the Ron's Gone Wrong beanie, I actually found it at the Shop Disney website, but not the US, the European, the EU website. So I don't know if they would have it here in the US. I would assume so. If you have it in the Shop Disney, it's essentially global, but it's right here. It looks like that.
But it's weird because this is the one that's actually more accurate from what's in the movie.
Yeah, not this one matched the red carpet.
Yes, this one matched, well, the blue carpet.
Yes, the blue carpet. The blue carpet.
But yeah, this one is definitely more of a match for what is in the movie. And I also don't think it says Ron's Gone Wrong on the...
It does. There's a little patch.
Oh, there is?
There's a little patch on it that says Ron's Gone Wrong, and it says Best Friend out of the box, which is cute. I wish they gave us little stickers. Yeah, it's adorable. So there's like a little detail. Oh, you can't really see that. But yeah, it's on the, just look on Shop Disney, do a little quick Google search. And worst case scenario, if you can't find one at like the US, I don't know actually where Noah lives. I'm going to assume, I'm sorry that I'm assuming it's the US. But if you can't find it at a Shop Disney or anything like that, Etsy is a really great place to go. There's a lot of really fantastic small businesses that can create something that's very similar, inspired by the film. So I would suggest you check that out. So yeah, if you want to
check it out, Run's Gone Wrong. I think that's what is all the way around.
It's It reminds me of Whoville for some reason. Like I feel like that's what the Who's would wear in Whoville. And you guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our final piece of news, because then after this we got to go get Navi back from the salon. The queen needs to be picked up. So let's talk about the MCU movie delays. And this isn't new news. It popped up a couple days ago, I think on Monday. But we should definitely talk about this because a bunch of they delayed 5 phase 4 movies. So I'm trying to find all the right times there. Yeah. Okay. So we know that Eternals is coming out November 5th. And the next one, even though this technically isn't under the Disney Marvel banner, it is Sony. Yeah. It is still, I would count it a MCU movie because of who is in the movie. For example, Doctor Strange, that's been confirmed via the trailers. That comes out. That has not been moved, which is great. December 17th. So that is coming soon. Then Doctor Strange 2 in the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, instead of March next year, it will come out May 6th, 2022, which is very soon, very close to your birthday.
It's a birthday.
He usually gets a Marvel movie. The fact that we have to go
from December to May, we have to go that long.
Look,
that's 5 months.
We'll have to rewatch Hawkeye or some of the other Disney Plus Marvel shows to kind of.
But I want my Marvel movie now.
Some of the other movies that's been moved, of course, because the MCU, everything's planned, everything's interconnected because it is the MCU, which is why you move one, you move usually for the most part the rest of them. So Thor, Love and Thunder, its new release date is now July 8th, 2022. Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, November 11th. So technically 3 Marvel films in 2022. Okay. And then the Marvels, aka Captain Marvel 2, will be out February 17th of 2023. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania will be out July 28th, 2023. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, so close to your birthday, 2023. And here we have on Screen Rant, it looks like Kevin Feige explains why the movies are delayed. So I'm going to go ahead and find that there.
Find his exact quote.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it.
When you really hear it, it really does make, a lot of sense, and they need to just line everything up.
Found it. Okay, so it looks like this was asked on the red carpet, on the press line for the Eternals premiere by Variety, and says, quote, I guess that's his answer, quote, it's production shifts and changes, and because we have so many slots, we can shift a lot. So that's what he says. If there's anything else. I think it's more of just giving these movies more time to be finished. MCU, we know superhero comic book movies in general utilizes CGI, utilizes a lot of post-production. Maybe there's pickup shots that they need. We don't know the specifics, but that's only one can assume that that's the reason. That's so that it gives the directors, the cast, and the post-production team to take a look at the film and have the time to work on it so they can give us a completely finished product, rather than like, let's kill ourselves and try to like finish as quickly as possible, and then maybe it doesn't look as good. Like, you want them to, like, they've invested so much money. The fan base is going to be there whether they show it in March or show it in May.
And it does make a lot of sense. There's been so many hurdles for these productions to constantly jump over, to move around, to stop production, restart production. And it just makes sense to be like, okay, we're going to give you guys 2 extra months. And I'm pretty sure the producers, the directors, the actors, everyone is going, thank you.
Yes.
It's kind of like, imagine doing a project for school and you're like trying to rush it and you're trying to, oh my God. And then your teacher goes, it's okay, I'm going to give you 2 extra months. And you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Immediately all the pressure just melts from your body. You're like, I can breathe. I feel good.
I'm not having a panic attack.
That's probably of anything else, probably the core reason, and nothing to be alarmed. And also, don't forget, we are still in a pandemic, so I'm sure shooting wise, it wasn't probably a little bit different as well. So like it takes time to adjust, and I think all the studios are doing the best they can to make it all work while we're still in the middle of a pandemic. So that's our thoughts on the film. We are obviously sad that we're not going to be able to get to see Doctor Strange 2 sooner rather than later, but the fact that we're still getting it, it's totally fine. Take the time, make it amazing, and I will buy 3 buckets of popcorn.
I do have to admit, the one thing that I am a little just like strained about is the fact that we have Spider-Man No Way Home, and then 5 months we're gonna, because we know Spider-Man
for Marvel films.
No, for Doctor Strange, because we're now gonna have to wait 5 months to kind of get the conclusion of what happened in Spider-Man No Way Home and because I'm pretty sure that Doctor Strange does have a lot of bleed through from Spider-Man No Way Home. So I'm really curious. I'm pretty sure it's just Marvel trying to get all of their pieces in order, all of their everything placed perfectly in order to get that but having to wait 5 months to finally get like the conclusion of that story arc.
Yes. And speaking of the delay for some of the Marvel films, but let's not forget that it's all under the banner of Disney. So thank you for Steve for pointing this out again in the chat. Disney also delayed Indiana Jones 5 from July 29th, 2022 to June 30th, 2023, almost a whole year. So Harrison Ford will be 80 when this film comes out. 80 and still doing stunts. Still doing all the things. Still cracking the whip.
Anytime I hear about Harrison Ford, I always think of Mark Hamill's impression.
It's pretty good.
I don't sound like that kid. I sound nothing. And I'm like,
you sound just like it. I think if anybody would know, Mark Hamill would know, because they spent so much time together on set for all the films.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, that's it for today's live stream. We want to thank all of you for hanging out with us. I hope you had a good time hearing us talk about some of the lighter topics. We didn't really dive into anything. Some of the other stuff that I want to talk about, like Cowboy Bebop, like that new footage, because we haven't had time to film our reaction. And I was like, I can't watch it and talk about it and then it feels backwards if we do a reaction after we've seen it. And then do a reaction video. It doesn't make sense to me. So those reactions will be coming up. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. We've got some really cool content coming up, as well as movie reviews. We'll do a spoiler round with Dustin for Dune, which is so exciting. And tonight, if there's any fellow tabletop TRPG players out there, I'm going to be streaming. I think today is the season finale for Bedlam Discord Odd Job. So come and find out us and Glita and all the sheeps survive tonight. It's going to be at 6 p.m.
Glitter Barbarian.
6 p.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. PT over on It's the Real Gobshite, the Twitch channel, but I will post it on my Instagram as well. So you can just click on the link and find out there. Gravelin says Dune Friday. I'm very excited that people are excited for Dune.
I'm excited after everything you said.
Oh my god, I was so happy I got into a screening. Thank you so much to the IW group for pulling that off for me. I was like, please let me go to this one. So thank you so much, and that I was happy to just be able to experience it in the theater. It was so cool. I can't wait for you guys to see it. All right, you guys, we will talk to you real soon. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great Saturday.
Have a great Wednesday.
Not Saturday. Have a great Wednesday. Navi will be back. So next week, the sound is going to sound better. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.